Leicester are playing Man City tomorrow, and we can see they're roughly mid-table at home. So Leicester's home form is better, but their away form has been awful. But that's not relevant because they are at home today or tomorrow. The risk is that Leicester have qualified from the Champions League and they rested their team midweek. So they got hammered, I think, with a 5-0. So, they've just focused on the league for the week. There have been no distractions. At the same time, I just think Man City have a far better squad. They should be able to blow them away. Oh, other thing, Schmeichel is back in goals, I think. I heard on a podcast, which is significant because he's a very good goalie. But Man City have the best away form in the table. Of course, it depends on the odds, but the odds are good. You can back Man City to win at nearly, I think, 1.75, that kind of area. And I have orders, with on Betfair and stuff. I can say I will have other bets once the odds hit about 1.8 up to maybe evens. So there's decent value there. It's actually hard to call. So backing City to win makes sense. If you look at City away, they average 3.43 goals, and 86% of the time there's been 3 or more goals in the game. And you can basically, I'll just open that up. Leicester, Man City. So, as I was saying, you can get pretty good odds for Man City to win, given that they've won 6 out of 7 away games. And Leicester are middling at home, so, they are average when it comes to home, which means that Man City's winning 6 out of 7 should be what we find, what we experience. So, if Leicester had won 7 out of 7 at home, then you'd have to go, okay, that's going to be hard. So it's not that clear. Both teams to score is 1.73. We were looking at 2.5. Oh, sorry. Popular. There you are. It has the 2.5 goals down here. So I can bet on 3 or more goals, and the markets are saying the odds are 1.75. And I'll, convert that to probability. So it's saying there's a 57% probability that we're going to have 3 or more goals. But if you look at what's actually happened, well, when Man City have played away, there's been 3 or more goals 86% of the time. So that's providing, to my mind, value. I mean, I think that there's a good chance, it's more likely that we're going to have 3 or more goals. The counter argument, which we should be aware of, is that Aguero is suspended and he's their top scorer. So, Man City without Aguero probably scores fewer goals. We also want to look at Leicester. Leicester at home are involved in games where there are 3 or more goals 71% of the time. So, while the betting markets are saying this match will have 3 or more goals only 57% of the time, so I would tend to disagree. So I'm backing 3 or more goals. The other one is both teams to score. So I'll just look at it here. Both teams to score. For Leicester games, it's 57% of the time. So the defence has kind of held. Or it could be that they haven't scored. We can check that, from these tables. For Man City, you get both teams scoring 71% of the time. Quick check here. The markets are giving it pricing it at both teams to score at 1.73. So that's 55%ish or 50 something, because it's 1.73 is close to 1.75, and 1.75 was 57%. But I can delve a bit deeper. So just look at these to kind of get a sense of what a typical result is for these teams. So Leicester have one of the fewest clean sheets at home. I mean, of the 20 teams, they are joint third. So only clean sheets. So they have a very good defense. My mistake. So only Chelsea and Spurs have better defenses. So that would suggest, it'll be tougher for Man City to win, since Leicester actually have a good defence. And on top of that, we know that Leicester have had a whole week to prepare. They rested their first team, and Aguero's not playing. So, that does affect things. Man City away have a poor defence. They rarely keep a clean sheet. So, their style is, look how weak our defence is. Surely you should attack. And that will encourage the other team to come out and play, which means that their defence will be more exposed, and Man City can take advantage of that, rip them to bits. So just finally looking at the fail to score. Man City have the best, with several other teams. I wouldn't have expected. So Stoke, West Brom, West Ham. Okay, so I'm not surprised that Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man City are at the top of the fail to score. That essentially they always score away. More so than West Brom and Stoke and Crystal Palace are more so than Liverpool or Man United. So learn something new every day. Leicester, well, at home you have various teams who score all the time. Arsenal, unfortunately, aren't in that. But Leicester are middling, though they do tend to score. So, just reviewing my picks, I still think Man City should win because their home record is incredible. I mean, their away record is they have the best away record in the league. Leicester have a middling home record. Yes, they've had a week to prepare, and yes, Aguero's not playing, so and Schmeichel is playing, so it'll be closer than just what the table, which is based on the matches played so far, when Aguero has been playing, when Leicester have been focusing on the Champions League and so are more unprepared and untargeted in the league, and Schmeichel is back. So that kind of narrows the gap, but I still expect City to win. The 3 or more goals and both teams to score, I was surprised by the fact that Leicester have such a good clean sheets record. But Man City have an incredible attack. So one moment, because this is the key bit. So actually, also what I did was I bet on Man City to win and both teams to score, and Man City to win and 3 or more goals. So you have those combinations available at the bookie. I won't just tell you that, I'll show you. So you on Betfair here, match odds and over under 2.5 goals, match odds and both teams to score. So they'll give you 3-1, 4-1, like far, or no, say 2 or 3-1. So you get far better odds, but of course you're only getting paid more because the risk is greater. So just final look here, since I got thrown off a bit by how good Leicester's defence has been at home. So I'm sticking with Man City to win, since their away form has been superb. I'm sticking with 3 or more goals, because great though Leicester's defence has been, there have been 3 or more goals 71% of the time. So and that's against any team, while Man City away have is it the most goals, or Liverpool have the most? No, they've the most. Man City away games have 3 or more goals 86% of the time. So I'm going to stand by the 3 or more goals. So in a way, the weakest thing then is the both teams to score. So actually it has the information here. So for Man City, both teams to score happens 71% of the time. For Leicester, both teams to score, like so when Leicester are at home, both teams to score only happens 57% of the time. So, given that we've no shortage of bets, I would, and given that the price, like the odds that you get for both teams to score and for 3 or more goals are basically the same, I would back. So I will back Man City to win, back 3 or more goals, back Man City to win and 3 or more goals. They all three of those look like there's good value. Now see what happens.